So today's video, we're going to go through the worst 5 tricep exercises. So these are exercises you might be doing now, but aren't going to be getting the most bang for your buck in your time in the gym. Before we get into the video, make sure you hit the like button. I'm going to teach you some knowledge bombs that are going to help you build bigger arms. So from a thank you for me, if you could please like the video, it would be very helpful. Now, exercise number 1, which doesn't give the most return on investment and there are better options, would be a dumbbell kickback. Hypothetically, this is a really good exercise. However, when we look at how a tricep works with a strength curve, when we're actually getting to there's no tension at the bottom, because with a dumbbell, gravity is the only force. So there's no tension at the bottom where we're our strongest, and there's maximum tension at the top of movement where the tricep's short, where we're the weakest. So it's completely the other way around from the strength curve we actually want. So a great alternative to do this, instead of a dumbbell tricep kickback, is using a cable, because you can have a continuous range of motion. So we're going to have loading at the bottom position and equal loading at the top. So that's really, really important to make sure we think about trying to train the muscle through the full range of movement, not just at the start, the end, or the midpoint. Exercise number 2 is dumbbell skull crushers. So again, for a very similar reason, that we have very little range of motion at set points within that, because we're not using a cable. I would also say that this puts a lot of stress on a lot of people, don't have the shoulder mobility to maintain that posture whilst loading it through their elbows. So a lot of people get a lot of elbow pain with dumbbell skull crushers, particularly even more so when using a bar. So this would be an exercise I would probably avoid if you have any elbow issues at all. Number 3, cross-body tricep extension. Again, another exercise where there's very little tension. So at the bottom, we have a lot of tension. Again, at the top, the weight is pretty much stacked over our shoulder joint. All the weight is going through our joints. Therefore, we have very little tension on the muscle. So again, for maximal muscle development, a maximal progress, a maximal return on investment on what we're doing, we want to train a muscle through a full range of movement. I use the word maximal a lot because I want to have a maximal life, I want to get maximal results, I want to be maximally the best I can be, and that's what I want for you, is to not to have half-assed progress, because you're getting half-assed results out of the exercises you're choosing to do. So single arm tricep extension with a dumbbell is not a wonderful exercise. Next up, we're moving on. So we're no more dumbbells, we're now talking about cables. So we're now talking about the underhand cable extension. So you might be thinking, Charlie, you said cables are amazing. Well, cables are great. We have to think about our ability to load. So with an underhand position, so our palm is facing up, if we've got a bar in our hand, all the weight and load is in our fingers, which is going to massively limit and restrict the amount of force we can actually put through it, because we can't load that much in that grip position. So logically, it makes very little sense to do this. However, if we turn our hand over and do a normal hand position, we can then load with the weight going straight into the palm of our hand. So this is a phenomenal exercise. The underhand one, I'm not a big fan of, because you can't load it and you'll end up putting more force through your hand and through your wrist than actually your tricep, which you're trying to train. So that one little tip, which is turning your hand over, will help you get much bigger arms. Another tip with that is I'd stand really close to the cable machine, because we want to try and keep the cable in a vertical line. And again, at the top of the movement, tense your bicep. At the bottom of the movement, try and get your hands, your knuckles to face the floor. Next up, we have bench dips. So this is like something you see in probably like Body Pump 101. Now, yes, obviously it works your triceps, but again, what I was saying earlier in this video, we want maximal results. We want maximal range of motion. If you're doing a dip from behind you here, you've got very little range of motion. Whereas if you do a dip on an actual dipping bar, you have a full range of motion, and actually range of motion is then easier for you to load. If you want to make the dip harder, what I would do is bring your feet forward and more underneath you. And again, like I've said through a lot of my videos, making sure you're forward focusing on bracing your abs and your core, keeping that really tight. And again, with all dips, what you want to think about is keeping your your ears away from your shoulders. Because you see a lot of people will dip like this. We want to keep our shoulders setting down and then dip from that position. So that's 5 tricep exercises you shouldn't be doing if you want bigger arms and actually want to protect your elbow joints. So if it's helpful, make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe, and comment below any other videos you'd like to see from us. Also, if you want help with your own fitness journey, you can hit link below this video and book in a free strategy call with myself and the CJ coaching team. As a little gift as well, we'll put below a link for our free abs training course, the Abs Black Book. So click that, check it out, and welcome for the free gift.